Thank you. And you?
Yes, thank you for having me. So, for your lesson today, what would you like to discuss?
There I also make the presentation about tourist attraction, so-called Guguan Hot Spring. Okay, so let's begin. Guguan Hot Spring in the Japanese age, Taiwan was ruled by Japanese in from 1895 to the World War II end at 1945 or 50 years. And during the Japanese occupation period, the Guguan hot spring was found. So the Japanese government make a public base in the Guguan, so they call Guguan another name called Meiji base, because in that time the Japanese is in the Meiji period, and it is located. One hot spring is located in the middle cross island highway. The highway is from the west side, on the west side of the Taiwan, and to the east side of Taiwan. That's in Hualien, where the west side is Taichung, and the Guguan maybe from Taichung maybe 6 kilometers or 80 kilometers from Taichung, and they are the height is 800 meters high above sea level, and they had a river called the Dajia River, and in the river government built many dams, and I know they are the biggest dams called Doji. One time I slept in the Doji's police station, where I am in the military, and I was trained in Pingtung, trained as a special force. I must train how to jump in around the airplane. That's called parachuting. And when we finish the train, I come back to the military camp. Because the big rain, so caused the highway cross island highway broken, so we cannot pass. So we stay in the police office, the policeman. We ask the policeman to help us, so they left the room for us to stay. And in the Guguan, we also had a small tent, because in the Dajia River they have many, and the tent our company before I retired. Before I working in the Taiwan Power Company, but the dam is the hydraulic power. However, I'm working in the thermal power, but we are belong to the same company, and the hot spring usually mainly the hot spring are many kind of hot spring, and the most common two one is carbonated hot spring, and sulfur hot spring, and carbonated hot spring is the water is clean and had no had only a weaker order, only where the sulfur sulfur half plane. They are not clear and a little murky and yellow color, and they had a bad smell because they have sulfur in it. And in the Guguan, our company had a employee recreation recreation center there. Our company offer us the employee for very cheaper to had a stay there. I been take the stay in my creation center for 3 times, and it is very cheaper for the employee. And I have been 2 or 3 times there. I usually go mountain climbing. They had some trail, and not hard to climb because it is not so steep. So I like to go there, and the scenery is very beautiful. And they had the forestry, very dense forestry, and in the spring, especially in the February, they had the cherry blossom. And so during the spring, they attract many tourists around the island. Yeah, and although I never visit in the spring, I 2 times I visit in the autumn and almost into the winter because we like to eat some one kind of food, and they call the persimmon. I don't know. Do you know this kind of fruit, the persimmon?
I've heard of it, yes.
Persimmon.
But
And
not
origin,
common in the Philippines.
but you have many in the Philippines, and
Oh,
there are
no, it's not
many
common.
not common. Oh,
No.
oh no. And before we had the persimmon and not as sweet as right now because the persimmon maybe the right now the very sweet and very big. That variety maybe come from Japan. So I like to go there, especially in the December or the November, and I've been there the first time. My my friend took me there, took me in there, and the owner of the farmer who offer us the free. You can eat whatever you like, and later you just pour some. And so I like it very much because they offer us the very delicious one because it is where ripen very much, so they cannot ship to the city because it is too ripen. So they give us and it very delicious. And you people in the city cannot eat such sweet fruits because they are too ripen. They cannot ship to the city. If they ship the city, they were rotten. And so the first time I've been there, and I enjoy very much. And I buy some and get take home. And next year, I mean the year before last year, I went there one more time, but unfortunately, the owner of the farm owner don't offer us any anymore. So I still buy some, but I decide not to go again because I like to enjoy the offer us we without charge, and later I can buy some, but later they change their policy, so I will never go again. And they beside persimmon, they had another planta, agricultural planta, very famous also, and they are very good. Nutritious. They call it's basically the kind of planta very famous in Japan too. They are called shiitake. Have you ever heard of shiitake? Especially the dry one. They call the hoshi shiitake. That means the dry shiitake mushroom. And one time I've been there and I bought some of them. Yeah. And there are one kind of fish very famous. They call Xinlong fish, and it is in the ancient time. It very expensive. No, not many one can afford to buy it, and so such fish is served in in the palace. The emperor enjoy it, and now it is become very common, so people can enjoy eating it, but still a little expensive. So I only eaten one time. Next, my whole get retired, and we had a dinner party. So they serve us second fish. Oh, it really is very delicious. And they had some. Uh, they had another national horse amusement park there. They call Basensan amusement park. One time when I stay in the Guguan has been, I like to visit Basensan National Forest Amusement Park, but I find out it charges too much. So I went back home. I don't like to spend so much money. And they had three big forest, and they had one big forest farm there. It is one of the three biggest forest farm in Taiwan. But I never been there. I know nothing about it. And near the our employees creation center, they had a suspension bridge. Maybe they had another suspension bridge. I reading some book they talk about something, but it is not the one I had walking, because the one I working is near my company's location center, and they had a big temple there. They call Dao Temple. And one time, the first time I went with my friend. They take us to go climbing, mountain climbing, and I parked the car in front of the Da Dao Temple, and I climbed to the mountain, and later I heard someone say it is a news report. We in Taiwan we have one kind of black bear, and someone said they had found the black bear because he was hurt by the black bear, and because no one saw him was bite by the black bear. Someone say she may be lying because the black bear who can the black bear can kill person, and the black bear or someone advise us, you see a black bear, you better to stay stand still stand there and pretend you didn't find the black bear. You run away. The black bear will chase you, and whose speed, running speed is much quicker than human. And someone thinking maybe I climb to a tree, maybe can be safe. but unfortunately it's not. The black bear can climb the tree. So someone give us the suggestion. The best way is to stand still and let the bear thinking you will not hurt them, and they will go away. So I never see such a black bear, and and so where's that inside? And what I need to say. Oh, and I talk about something about the Cross Island Highway. And after the Cocoon Party government, when they withdraw from mainland China, after the central government was defeated by the rebel group, the so-called communism, they fighting with the central government, and they call the civil war. And that's after the World War II. They continue fighting. And after central government was defeated by the communist, they withdraw. Chiang Kai-shek, the leader of Chiang Kai-shek, they withdraw to Taiwan. And after withdraw to Taiwan, some year later, they like to build the central or the middle Cross Island Highway. And especially after the Civil War, they brought lots of the soldier and the soldier military soldier from mainland China, and someone are getting old, and they had no work, so government encourages them to making the highway, and they can make money and can support their family. So it takes many years to finish this highway, and even the government encourage the veterans, they are all soldiers, and to build some farm. They grew the high mountain fruits like apple and pear. Pear we had different kind of pear, and very high quality pear is must grow in the high mountain. So they grow the good quality pear in the apple in the high mountain, because most of the apple we are import from America or from Japan, and Taiwan only grow some of them only. And that's after the highway, after the cross highway was built, was finished. Um, uh, and they had many big big fancy hotel there. Usually every hotel had hot spring, and people like to had to go to hot spring, especially in the autumn or in the winter, because Taiwan is too hot, and so nobody like to go to hot spring in the summertime. But in the winter or in the autumn, they are the hot spring attracts many tourists come to Guguan. Yes. Mm.
In my country, there are only very few hot springs.
Oh, maybe your
Very
country even had hot spring. Your country people may not like to go to because your country is too hot.
Yes, it's already hot. So we
Yeah.
prefer cold springs.
Ah. Right, and also I like to mention is the unfortunately this cross island highway is damaged in a flood. That is a big flood in the August like that is the Father's Day in Taiwan, because mean in Chinese equal 爸爸 Baba pretty similar to Baba. Baba means father. So we designate government designate that day is the Father's Day. And maybe 8 years ago, the even landslide cover the whole mountain village, and the people all killed. And the Cross Island Highway also damaged. Until now, this highway is only people can only reach Guguan, and and we cannot cross the highway anymore. And someone suggests government to repair the law, while some experts say better now, better to let the earth naturally grows, and not better not to rebuild it. Otherwise, the earth getting loose, and when the big rain come, it also damage. So it better to let it be, leave it. Don't try to
Mm.
bother it anymore. So we cannot cross the middle highway. In the west, we only can go to Guguan, and in the east, Hulanghua maybe go to Torogo Gorge. Torogo Gorge also very famous tourist attraction. Many foreigner, and especially recently, many people who are many China like to visit Torogo Gorge, and that is on the Cross Island Highway. And that is in the eastern side, Hulanghua and the Hulang Taizong, the west side, Hulang Taizong only can people can only reach Guguan only. Yeah. So I think that's all.
Okay.
There are many, but
So
I cannot cannot mention all of them.
that's fine. But during your presentation, I noticed some words that you used. For example,
Hmm,
one time and two time.
hmm,
Usually, for native English speakers,
hmm.
it's more common to say once
Once and
for
twice.
instead of yes, that's correct. So
Mhm,
we would native English speakers would say once,
hmm.
twice,
Twice,
then three times, four
three times,
times, five times, six
twice,
times, and so on. But if it's one time, they say once. If it's two times, they say twice.
twice.
But that would be also
Hmm,
for my recommendation.
hmm,
Well, you can further improve on word choice and
hmm,
vocabulary bank. So,
hmm,
my advice is if you have the time, just continue to read articles in English and
hmm,
continue to expand your vocabulary knowledge by studying one or two new words per day. And you may also watch English movies so that you will learn more English expressions. But all the same, overall, you still did a great job with your
Thank you.
presentation. So, keep it up. You're
Okay.
welcome.
Okay.
And so, have
Thank
a
you.
good night.
Okay. See
Thank
you
you
next
very
next time.
much.
Okay. Bye bye.
Nice to see you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.